Welcome back to the Green Talk, where we connect people with purpose, and the green industry. I'm your host, Misraim Mata, and today we are diving into a powerful emerging force that it is reshaping our industry, data analytics. And today I have a special guest, Melissa Webb. She is with Bomdata, and she's bringing deep expertise in using data to drive smarter decisions, uncover trends, and help businesses scale with confidence. Melissa, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Ms. Ram. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing fantastic, doing great. Thank you for joining this journey of the podcast. Good to see you again. It was good to meet you at Las Vegas and the 10 conference,
Yeah,
right?
that was a great conference.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what was your main takeaway from that conference?
I think my main takeaway is that commercial landscapers are really starving for clarity in technology and data. And I think that that's really exciting. It's a good place to be.
Definitely, yeah. That's definitely was those was one of the things I heard most during those presentations in there. So, Melissa, before we jump into the boom data space and everything you guys are doing, I would like to know and also let our listeners know, how do you find yourself in this world of analytics, and why focus mainly on the commercial landscaping?
Sure. Yeah. So, just to give you a little background on myself, my road has been kind of long and winding, but I believe everything happens for a reason. I actually started my career on the customer service side. My favorite part of that was helping people solve problems. Someone would call in frustrated, and if I could make their day a little easier, that was a win to me.
Mhm.
And over time, I realized that I wanted to do that on a larger scale, not just one person at a time, but by helping improve systems and tools that people at a larger scale use every day. And that's what pulled me into building software products. So my background is actually in software, figuring out how to take something complex, part of a business process a lot of times, and make it really simple and useful so that teams can do their jobs better every day. So when I decided to join Bomdata, I saw that same opportunity in commercial landscaping, where companies are drowning in data but starving for clarity. And in commercial landscaping in particular, labor is their biggest cost, but most leaders were still relying on gut feel or huge spreadsheets to make decisions. Something that I love about this industry is just how hardworking and hands-on everybody is. You all take pride in your crews, the properties you manage, your customers. And so helping you see things more clearly without all the noise around it really makes a big difference. And to me, my customers are really at the heart of everything that I do. So it's taking something stressful and turning it into something manageable. And that's the kind of problem solving that drew me into this field in the first place.
Awesome. That's great. And I'm sure that in all these years that you be in this space, you have seen a lot of changes. So what are all those changes that you've seen over the years, and how companies are thinking when become tracking, reporting, and actually using the numbers? You just say that, right? The people or the companies just get all these numbers with all this great software and the in the industry. But what are the changes that you notice it along these years?
Yeah, there's been a lot of change, and I've seen these changes kind of across industries and across time. So, in the green industry and beyond, a lot of companies kind of start and stop with dashboards. Dashboards look really nice, but they're often used as just kind of static snapshots. Executives maybe pull them up once a week or once a month, maybe even just once a quarter. Look at them once, and then just kind of life goes on. And by the time you're noticing a problem, the season is maybe already over. I also have seen a big transition from we had no data or like very little access to data. And then we went through a season of big data, lots of data. I think we're coming out of that now, you know, but it's just overwhelming, too much data. So we're coming out of that. And what I'm seeing changing and what we're pushing forward is that idea of operationalized data, data in motion, showing up at the right time, in the right hands with clear next steps. So not just another report or 10 reports that you're filing away, targeted, focused conversation starter. So think like a leaderboard posted up on the wall that everybody can see. It's one clear metric that everyone's driving towards. Weekly or daily automated emails. Again, that's really targeted, focused on one or two things, telling an operations manager exactly which 3 crews need their attention this week. Other industries like manufacturing and logistics have been using this approach for a long time now. And they've proven that when you push the right data to the field, efficiency goes up and costs go down. And I think that's finally making its way to landscaping, and we're starting to see those benefits here as well.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Yeah, definitely. If the data is being used properly, it for sure is going to help you to be better, right? Use your tools and resources better. Your time, it is important as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. So Melissa, let's talk now. Let's move forward and let's talk about Bomdata specifically, right? What is Bomdata?
Sure. So Bomdata is a labor efficiency platform first, built for commercial landscaping companies who want to scale or just want to be profitable. So we integrate directly with Aspire, and in just a few minutes, you can connect your Aspire account to Bomdata, and then you can see the key drivers of labor efficiency in an easy to see and understand and act on way. So we help companies catch hidden and often overlooked inefficiencies. So things around like scheduling best practices or crew mobile usage that, if not done properly, are quietly draining your labor budgets and you're not even aware of it sometimes. We give kind of clear property analytics data as well so that you can see where precisely hours are drifting. And we visualize that data and push it out in a way that every level of the organization can consume it completely out of the box, so you don't have to think about it. So that's through weekly or daily emails, like I said, targeted key metrics, leaderboards up on the wall, seeing variance breakdowns at a property level, those sorts of things. Behind the scenes, we do use AI, but not in a way that's like replacing people or judgment. It's more like having an extra set of eyes that highlights the couple things that you should pay attention to this week or patterns that you may overlook inadvertently. So it keeps you from having to dig through piles of reports to find out, what precisely is going wrong. I would say the problem we solve for is focus, clarity, and accessibility. You are not short. Most leaders are not short on data. You're short on time and focus. So we make it simple for you to see what's working, what isn't working, and what to do about it right now.
So it is, yeah, I mean, it's great that the concept of, we're short on time. So we need to make sure exactly how to use that time wisely or the best way to be able to, to do better overall and use those numbers in a proper way. So for someone that it is hearing for the first time about Bomdata, so what problem specifically Bomdata can solve? We talk about time, but like for someone that it is first listen to this, what could be one thing that you will tell that person that Bomdata could help them to solve?
Yeah, I think that, and every customer we have worked with so far, there are hidden inefficiencies in your labor, in your crews. Whether some people know where they are and some don't, and we can work with both. But It's really to help you optimize your crews. Obviously, keeping quality and safety a priority, but setting your crews up for success so that they can focus on doing the work and trying to hit their schedule. So doing all that proactive work ahead of that, so that when your crews walk out the door in the morning, they have an accurate schedule that they're working towards, and then they can see the results of that at the end of the day.
Awesome. Awesome. And you know better than everyone else in the landscaping, there is a lot of things, a lot of moving parts around, right? That everything must be balanced or connect to each other. Labor, fuel, materials, seasonal things. So how the data analytics helps to balance and instead guessing things like how much material I'm going to need or how many people I'm going to need, etc. How having this data and use it properly help contractors to make better decisions.
That's a great question. I think um, the first thing is I just want to mention and recognize that commercial landscaping is much more complex than I ever gave it credit for. And certainly people who are not in the industry probably have no idea how many inputs there are and how many things there are for you to be thinking about. And I mentioned already this idea of there's so much data about all of these different inputs that you mentioned, materials, labor, fuel, seasonality, like so many things to think about, that if we can help simplify one of those tracks for you so that it kind of runs itself, then that takes away one thing that you don't have to add to that laundry list when things do move and shift with the seasons or with the weather. I think commercial landscapers, know that labor is their biggest cost on the P&L statement, but they're also realizing it's tough to wrap your arms around finding efficiencies sometimes because people can be so variable. One of the biggest hidden costs on the labor side that I have witnessed in working with commercial landscapers is in the scheduling itself. Crews can't hit targets if the schedule itself is wrong. So if you overschedule a job, say you give it 120 hours on the schedule when it should only take 20, you've set that crew up to run long, even if you think they know they shouldn't be taking the full 120 hours. And it's not because they're trying to be inefficient. They just don't know the expectation. We have done an analysis of our customers and have proven that when crews are given accurate schedules on the schedule board for the day, they are about 15% more efficient on average. And we think that that's because expectations are clear and they can adjust their pace and workload to match what you expect of them. So I think consistent visibility and accountability takes the guesswork out of that balance.
Yeah.
Instead of hoping the numbers line up at the end of the week or the month or the season, you can see midweek where you're burning hours because you gave them an accurate schedule and you're actually seeing where they're hitting against that accurate schedule. That lets you adjust crew sizes, routes, equipment assignments before things get out of control. And that's where also once you become a little more proficient or advanced and the data is right and the schedules are right, you can start calibrating crews to a tighter schedule relative to the estimate to start banking some of those hours even.
Right. So we can almost say that it is like a snowball, right? Once you start fixing one thing, and then you can start fixing the others, scheduling and material and time and all that. So, great concept. And we talk about the landscaping in the commercial area. This whole concept of data analysis can be effective as well in other industries like snow removal or other services.
Absolutely. Anywhere where you have crews and kind of consistent work to do and an estimate or a schedule, you can use the tool. It's really about, and even in snow, even though snow is variable, every snow is different. within that one snow that you have, you still have many crews going out. You still have an idea of how long they should be taking. You can still give them that accurate schedule and have them work towards that accurate schedule.
Okay, great. Well, good to know. And
Yeah.
another reality, we know that we already say it. Commercial landscaping, a lot of inputs, right? A lot of parts moving forward. Another main thing in the industry is that many companies or leaders in the landscaping are very slow adapting into or going into the technology. So they're still like skeptical and just not making that move or that change. So what advice would you give to leaders who maybe want to bring this concept to their organizations, but still they're not 100% sure about it?
Sure. And this is some of my bread and butter. I've worked with companies for years on software implementation. It's one of my favorite parts of my job. It's definitely tough to bring in new technology because change can be hard. Any change is hard. From what I have seen, the most successful companies first start with a clear problem to solve or objective in mind. There has to be something broken worth fixing to get people on board. Well, once you've established that, you have to keep it simple. My mother always told me, you can't eat an elephant all in one day.
True.
I love. Uh, so you pick one metric that matters the very most. If we're talking from a labor perspective, it's likely something around estimated versus actual hours or budget to actual. And you're going to talk about it every day. You don't need a dozen KPIs on day one. Start with one. You got to make it a safe space. You want to frame the numbers as puzzles to solve together, not a hammer to punish people with. I think data can get a really bad reputation if it's only used to point out mistakes and is taken out of context.
Mhm.
So you want to celebrate the most improved crew this week, not just the top performers. You're going to build a short weekly ritual. Tack it on to a ritual you already have, or, like your weekly ops meeting. Tack it onto a habit you already have. Take a few minutes to start as part of that and ask, what worked, what didn't work, what got in the way, what should we change next week or this week? And that consistency, and with leadership showing up and showing that that is important, that's going to build trust. And over time, it's going to change the way people think and how they make decisions. I also think it's important to remember when you're introducing new technology, make sure it's working for you and not the other way around. I have witnessed too often folks trying to shove technology in where a process was broken, thinking the software is just going to fix the broken process. But now you have two problems on your hand.
Yeah,
So I
true.
think fix process first, then technology enables that process to be better, faster.
It will support the process and make it better, not fixing the process.
Yep.
Yep. Great. So it is important to have all this data. Or I'm sorry, it's not important to have all this data. So it must be accurate, clean, and ready to use. You mentioned early in your last comment a little bit about the leadership role. So how important it is training and also leadership involvement into this process to be able to be successful.
Yeah. I think leadership's role is really important here. They have to set the tone, they have to set the expectation that this is going to become a part of the culture. We're going to review these numbers every week. We're going to use them to make better decisions together. And when people see leaders consistently showing up, treating the data as a tool and not a weapon, then they're going to start buying in. When leaders explaining the why, I think is very important as well. Training is part of it. I think culture is the real driver.
Mhm.
You also mentioned clean data, and I love that point. I think clean data is everything. If the inputs are wrong, the outputs are going to be wrong. Another phrase I love to use is garbage in, garbage out.
True.
And this is often where we start with most new customers because they come in saying, I want to improve my efficiency, or I want my crews to have a little friendly competition, which is fun and works. But in order to really start honing in on your labor efficiency or give your crews an idea of where they're performing or how they're performing, you have to make sure the hours are right and the scheduling is right. So, for example, crew mobile usage is a common area where leaders think they're using crew mobile really effectively. On average, we see new customers coming in with a crew mobile score of 68%. So when I say score, that means that they are using crew mobile perfectly only 68% of the time. So that means you can't trust the hours that they're putting property to property come renewal time, on top of the administrative burden that your team, your ops team has on them trying to adjust those hours and timesheets every day. So getting crews to be more accurate on where they're reporting their hours can make the estimating, bidding, and renewals more reliable. Also on the scheduling side, I mentioned it earlier, but if crews are being assigned jobs but being given 0 hours on the schedule to go to that job, or being given the full estimate of the ticket when they really are only supposed to be using a fifth of it, that's just really not setting the crew up for success, and then you have nothing to measure against. So getting that clean data as the foundation before you can start building up from that.
It is key. It is important. I mean, I will say that in this comment you just mentioned, I will say the majority of the major issue that many companies are facing. You don't have clean data, and then everything else is the same, right? I mean, it's very hard to make estimations and forecastings, and yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, sounds complicated, but it is not, right? If you start from your priorities and then just go from there, again, it's going to be like a snow effect, and just fixing baby step is how I like to call it.
Yeah, and like I said, you take it one piece at a time. And the cleaning up part is not the most fun part, but I think it's the most important part. It sets you up, and then you can have the fun once you get your data in a good spot.
And the life become easier, right?
Exactly,
I mean, bottom line is like, yeah, the work that we do, bottom line is mowing, edging, blowing, spraying, right?
Right.
It's not that complicated, but everything behind the scenes where we have to put all these things together, having all this data the right way definitely is going to help organizations to behave better and have a better outcomes for sure. So for a company that is starting this and this let's say working with Bomdata and you and your team and everything, what's the time frame that they could start seeing the results or a change? I get it. It depends on the size of the company and everything, but average idea?
Yeah. So I would say a company who's ready to start working with us and is willing to invest 15 to 30 minutes a week with us doing kind of check-ins or having us attend maybe their weekly ops meeting for a little while just to help guide the conversation. I would say within the first month, they're starting to see improvements in, let's say, like I said, you're starting with data that is not clean, or, your crews are not using crew mobile effectively, or you're not scheduling. Honestly, if you're invested, you kind of start seeing that within a week or two. Because, like I said, we give you very targeted advice on, here are the 3 crews you should focus on this week, or here are the top errors that you have, and here's a direct link to get to them in Aspire and fix them before your crews go out for the day. So just starting to build that muscle memory. And then I think the magic happens after those first few weeks. If you stay consistent and make it a habit, then it becomes muscle memory for you.
Right. Well, that's good. No, that's great. The more the people, the organization are willing to do and to invest and really deep into the issues, the faster they can start seeing the results. The return of the investment. That's great. And your personal opinion, Melissa, do you think that the next generation of leaders are uh, more naturally open on working with data, or what do you think about it?
I do. I think younger managers and foremen grew up with data at their fingertips on everybody has smartphones these days. You maybe have a fitness app that you follow. You're comfortable seeing numbers as part of your daily routine. We see data everywhere now. Um,
Yeah.
that said, I don't think openness alone is enough or comfort is enough. You have to, if you have 10 disconnected reports, you're going to be overwhelmed no matter, who you
Yeah.
are. The real opportunity is pairing openness with systems that make data simple, relevant, and tied to outcomes. And I think that that's where technology adoption will stick. And you also have to keep in mind that a manager, even if they're young and open to it, and maybe they understand all of those 10 disconnected reports, but they have to figure out how to bring the whole team along with them in understanding and where to focus their time. Landscaping is a team sport, so the leader can't do it alone.
True. Teamwork.
Yeah.
It's important. Great. So 5, 10 years from now, how do you see technology and data analysis shaping the way we do landscaping?
Sure. I think labor is only going to get more scarce. Um, I think companies that can squeeze an extra 10% efficiency from the same crews without sacrificing quality or safety will have a massive competitive edge. I think analytics will become as essential as fertilizer to the industry. You just won't be able to run a large commercial landscaping company without it. And it's not just labor, right? Sales, renewals, profitability alerts, just becoming a part of the weekly rhythm for everybody. So instead of asking, how did we do this season at the end of the season? You're asking, how did we do this week? How do we adjust for next week? And that's a shift, I think. And then if you look at it from an ownership perspective, you probably thought about this. It's also about valuation. Nobody wants to buy or partner with a company that can't prove its profitability or explain where its margins are really coming from.
True.
So clean, reliable data doesn't just help you operate better, which it does, but it also makes you more attractive for acquisition, partnership, or investment. So I think we're seeing analytics become a baseline requirement for growth already. And I just think it's going to continue.
Yeah, you nailed it. It's a great future ahead.
Yeah.
And what personally for you and from Boom Data, what excites you the most? On your personal, professional level, moving forward with the analytics.
Well, what excites me personally, I genuinely love seeing teams excel and succeed. So as we see customers start seeing crew efficiency gains in just a couple months of working with us and seeing them get excited about that brings me joy. Um, Beyond that, I'm excited about expanding beyond labor into sales and renewals. So we just released our first sales leaderboard that shows win rates, proposal volumes, trends over time, the same kind of visibility that helps on the operations side, we're bringing to sales teams. And I already have a couple account managers who are really loving the visibility it's bringing them as they're trying to hit their goals for the month or for the year. I'm also really excited. We've started talking about like mid-season profitability alerts, being able to see things like, you're 80% of the way through your hours, but only 60% of the way through the work. And then there's the role that AI will play, not in a futuristic, like push a button and it runs your company way, but I think of it in a
Oh,
small,
really? Come on
wouldn't
now.
that be nice? I think of it in genuinely, I think it is going to play a role in like small practical ways, saving everybody time. So like surfacing the 3 jobs that need your attention this week, which we already do some of that, but I think we're going to continue to grow that. Automatically spotting patterns where things are drifting. Um, I think AI can help make analytics feel less like a chore and more like a trusted assistant of yours.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I think data is just becoming a shared language for teams. When crews, managers, and owners are all looking at the same picture, understanding the same thing, understanding the why behind what they're doing, and pulling in the same direction, it just makes running the company simpler, less stressful, and more rewarding for everybody. And that everybody's bought in as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, understanding the why behind it is important.
Totally.
And yeah, for sure. So, Melissa, any advice that you may have for any female or a male entering into this world of the green industry, either operations, data analysis, uh, manager in general, any advice that you may give them looking ahead in the future, how the industry is changing?
Oh, advice.
Stay away. Just kidding.
No, I love this industry. I love it. I never want to leave. Um, Advice. I think it's a really beautiful, hands-on, connected industry. I would say something that has helped me is the networking piece, meeting people like you and others who have done this for a while and maybe have battle scars from things that have happened in the past, and really leaning on one another, I think, is one of my favorite things about this industry. And I hope to see that continue. And I would say new people to the field, start networking, going to the conferences, meeting people. Everybody's very open to that. I have appreciated that, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, great, awesome, great advice. Yeah, networking is important, and be open to learn from others and share ideas and the strategies. And bottom line, we are in the same boat,
Exactly.
and there is a piece of cake for everyone. But if we share ideas, I mean, bottom line, you become better, right? You do better job because you learn from. I mean, I learn a lot from other people. Pretty
Yeah.
much everything I know is just connecting and learning from others and getting suggestions and maybe fixing things here and there. So it is great advice. Thank you for that, Melissa. Thank you for your expertise, for everything you shared today with us. I really think that our listeners are going to find this episode very, very helpful because it is a hot topic at the moment. It is on the mind of many people, leaders, owners, but some of them also have a lot of questions about it, like I should do it, how I do it. So it is good to know that there is people out there ready and willing and capable to help these organizations to keep moving forward and be successful. So thank you so much for joining us today, Melissa.
Thank you for having me. This was wonderful.
Thank you. Awesome. I'm glad that you have fun as well. So, for our listeners, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, you find this episode helpful, entertaining for you. And if you like it, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you until the next time. This is the Green Talk podcast.